It's Kathy Stanchi. I've been making some yoga videos for the rec center, and Alicia Portillo asked if I would be willing to share with you. So here goes. Today we're doing basic Sun Salutation A. So what I'm going to do is go through the 3 different modes of sun salutation, the traditional, a modified version, and then an advanced version. I think it's great to do sun salutations. I try to do 3 or 4 every day. They're great for stretching out your shoulders, and I think they just make you feel better about life. So hopefully this will work, and here goes. All right, so your basic sun salutation, you start with your feet together, toes touch, belly in, pelvis forward, in a pose we call tall mountain. So hands go to the sky, fingers outstretched, maybe a little bit of a back bend, and then come forward, exhale, forward fold. Forward fold, your gaze should be at the back of your mat. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. You're really grounding your feet into the mat. Your hands can be wherever. They can be sort of lightly touching your mat, or you can bind here, maybe for your first one, and sway back and forth, or you can leave your hands on the mat and sway back and forth. Most important thing in the forward fold is to rest. That's your rest pose. So here we are in forward fold. Next step in the vinyasa sun salutation is halfway lift or prepare. So that is hands to shin, flat back, tailbone to the back of your mat, crown of the head reaching forward, and really stretch out, really exaggerate it, really push your tailbone back and your head forward, and you should feel it in the back of your legs. You can have your hands on your shins, or you can have your hands to the mat if you're flexible enough. So that's halfway lift. Next pose is high plank. So you come into really a traditional high plank. A lot of people's wrists bother them in yoga. If yours do, I recommend kind of cupping the mat with your hands. High plank, your back should be flat, like a little marble could roll down it, and your belly in to protect your lower back. From high plank, we go to low plank. Elbows stay in towards your ribs. This is not a military push-up. Your elbows stay in towards your ribs, and you go down to sort of a hover on your exhale, and then you flip your toes and you flow to upward facing dog. So now your toenails are facing down at the mat. You're pulling your shoulder blades together, your gaze is forward, your chest is forward, and this is your up dog. And then flipping your toes back onto the balls of your feet, back into your downward facing dog, which is you make an upside down V. Oh, Owen, get out of the way. Cat not included in stupid video. Owen, no one wants to see you or your butt. All right, upside down V with your body. Again, cupping with your hands. If your wrists are at all bothering you, there's a real tendency people have in downward dog to sort of put a lot of weight on their shoulders and their wrists. You don't want to do this, so just watch me. I'm pushing my chest toward my thighs, my tailbone going up. I want you to see the difference between this and this. I've been doing yoga for 20 years. My heels still don't reach the mat in down dog, but that doesn't mean that the bulk of your weight should be on your hands. You should really be pushing so that there's weight in the balls of your feet, so you're not pushing too hard on your shoulders. And again, shoulders coming together like you have a pencil in between your shoulder blades. Maybe you lift your toes up, feeling that stretch in the back of your legs. If you need to in down dog, you can always bend your knees, but you keep that tailbone up and that chest pushing towards your thighs, gaze in between your feet, for your down dog. And that it's not a comfortable position, but it should be more comfortable than pushing all the weight onto your hands. And then from your down dog, you come high on your toes, you bend your knees and you walk to the top of your mat, halfway lift, fold, back up for your tall mountain. So the second version of this I'm going to do is the modified version. So here we are in tall mountain. Our pelvises are forward, are taking a little back bend. Hands come through heart center for your fold. God, these cats are annoying. Get out of here. Halfway lift and back to your high plank. Now in the modified version, high plank, you go to low plank, knees, chest, chin, and then to your up dog, knees and shins stay on the ground, and still pelvis pushing into the mat, chest forward, gaze forward, shoulder blades back, and then curling your toes under to the balls of your feet and back to your downward facing dog. So that's your modified vinyasa, and you can sort of tiptoe to the top of your mat and take your fold. Third version is for those of us who want more active in our sun salutation. Coming into tall mountain, hands to the mat, forward fold, halfway lift, and then we can jump back to chaturanga, to your high to low plank. You want to see if you can be as silent in your jump back as possible. You want to sort of catch a little bit of air if you can. It's really kind of fun. So I would recommend, if you have it in your ability to do this, to just give it a try. So here's the halfway lift, and then back to chaturanga, upward facing dog on my toenails, flipping my toes, downward facing dog, and then coming up on my toes, bending my knees, and you can again float to the top of your mat, halfway lift, and then your fold. So let's flow now. I'm going to do it with the breath instead of sort of waiting in between each pose. In yoga, it's supposed to be one breath, one motion. We're going to have a little music, because who can be sad when Bob Marley is playing? All right, so I'm going to do 3 with my breath, 1 regular, 1 modified, 1 expert. So here we go. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank to low plank. Upward dog, inhale. Exhale, downward dog. Owen, get out of the way. Come high on your toes. Bend your knees, exhale. Walk to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, fold. Inhale, tall mountain. Here comes the modified version. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank, knee, chest, chin. Shins to the ground, shoulder blades back, chest pushing forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then tiptoe, feet to hands, halfway lift, and your fold. Tall mountain, and here's the jumping version. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, high on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees. Float, halfway lift, fold. And that is our Sun A.